Hello again. Let's do the weekly selection. And most of these are bearish. Start with Costco. Had to do like a rethink of the trend line and channel, and this turned out pretty well. Um, Looked at the positioning as well, and it looks like we are at 845-ish or something. Yeah, 845, which is this. Not a lot of puts left to de-hedge moving forward, but let's say a potential maximum target would be 900 from here, which is 6% higher than this. But I kind of doubt this will happen. So I think the top will be 850-ish. In case we get another green 1 or 2 day green days on the market, and that's probably going to be the top in Costco. Um, Long-term trend, this lines up very well. Let's see the moving averages, pretty high above the 20 MA. Costco doesn't go, the 200, sorry, the 200 doesn't go that far. This is like 23% when it does a correction, 20 to 25%, and we are now at 21. Uh, Costco is way, 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 way ahead of itself, in my opinion. Tried to show this a couple of times before, but didn't really work out. To add like a potential um, other reason to for the Costco short is the Walmart short, which did a pretty big reversal for itself on Friday. Uh, Again, don't think this is a top. The long-term channel for this one says it has some room to go up to like 70. Let's look at where we are at 65. No, basically no. I don't think this will cut it. Meaning there is not enough interest above to get it to move higher. 65 calls. Oh, but the volume came in on Friday, so uh, 70 calls for next Friday, basically. Maybe this makes it go up significantly above the existing OI for August. No, for no, August as well. So two big rounds of calls for 70. That might help it get to 70. But 70 should be an absolute top for Walmart as well. More likely to me seems that this will become distribution. So this and this. And we go, oops, we do something like this a couple of times and then it will resolve down. Potential max to 70. Something like this. And Costco, um, don't really recommend a puts right after the gate because the way this has been moving, it it will do an instant reversal like this. It hasn't done distribution, like so I don't expect anything like this. I would rather expect another move up and then it goes down. So we shall see how this plays out. There is definitely a lot more room for Costco to go up than for Walmart. Then among the few bullish things, we have Uber. We did a breakout of the downtrend on Friday. Strangely enough, Lyft, while initially was bullish as well, it got this nasty ass rejections here. So a bit of a contradiction here because Lyft looks extremely bearish, like it's threatening losing this horizontal level, and considering the size of the rejections and that we closed at 15-ish, I think it's more likely. So if we get a close below 15, I think this will go lower. Back to this area here, I think the 200 MA is 14-ish, let's say. I think it will go to 13 if this realizes. There is a chance it bounces, and if it bounces, it's bullish because it it's basically saved two high volume rejections and then was able to turn back bullish. If it does that, my expectation is that sellers will disappear here. They will give up on selling when it gets to the 50 MA because that was the rejection level, and it will be allowed to go up and it should do a breakout. But I would wait for either a move below 15 or um, a green candle before getting in for the bullish side. Then we have HD. A couple of these are binary plays, and HD is one of them. We are at this huge horizontal pivot area, and if it holds, good. If it doesn't hold, not that good. So target, if it doesn't hold, would be this, like 280. And if it holds, if we get a bounce here, I'm not going to be overly bullish on it, but probably something like 350, 350, 360. So the wrong thing. Just from TA, I would give it a bullish bias, but considering the rest of the market, my expectation for the rest of the market is to dump. I don't know. So wait for a breakout. This would probably be bullish if we get more like of a rotation kind of thing in which the market, Nvidia and semis drop and some mega caps drop, but we get a rotation into names exactly like HD, which have been going down but are potentially bullish from a TA perspective or fundamentals perspective if the market rotates and increases its breadth. So I think this, but don't be married to the position. Okay, CRM. So for CRM, we got, this was one of the names that dumped the AI team, and it bounced a bit, but it's getting to the first uh, actual resistance. So it could do something like this. Seems unlikely that it will get past this area between the horizontal level, which was this one. Let's make it a thicker line. 200 MA, so between 250 and 255. It has a very strong resistance area. And to while it can be bullish, I don't think it's bullish enough to get past this in one go. So if we get to this 250, 252, 255 area, I would expect at a minimum rejection. And something like this, go back to 235, maybe even lower. This is kind of textbook. I think this to like 225 should be the support area here. So main scenario for this one would, even if it goes up, is we get a rejection around 250, 255. It goes back to 225, and if it's bullish, it will bounce here and make a higher low, eventually building up towards a breakout like this. But I think it's a high probability short if we get into this area. Uh, then Disney. Disney is the binary in the binary team. We get into this support area between 96 and 99. We are above that, but we have the 200 MA a bit lower, exactly like 97. So I would actually like to see it tag that area. Sort of a bullish divergence here. Not sort of, it actually has a bullish divergence. But again, if the market is weak or if the market is strong, will make or break this. It's not really that obvious which way it goes. Let's say something like this. This can do drop and bounce later. You can break out here. And if it doesn't hold the 200 MA, back to 85-ish, maybe even lower. We shall see. Binary. Another binary one is Cisco. On this horizontal pivot. Target. Target here. 45 to 40 or 52. Small bullish divergence, but hard to call. Like this can be. Oops. We have to wait and see what happens with them and then take the trade once it moves. There are a few other semi-names that I think look very, very toppy. One of them is Amat. Long-term channel here, and looks like we're hitting the top of it. We have a bearish divergence on the daily. And that's kind of it. Like it's a very steep rising wedge at the top, like this. Getting to the inflection point. Oops. The This is how it's probably going to play out. And again, if we get more of a rotation kind of thing, or Nvidia doesn't drop that much, we do like a small drop to, I don't know, to 10 or something like this, and then bounce, go higher again. Can also happen directly here. Another of the names that look distribution-y, and you see this distribution range here, is AXP. There's also Visa that looks kind of similar. There's also MasterCard and AXP. I picked it because it kind of has the most obvious distribution range. We lost the uptrend recently, and the precursor for this to break down are here, but we are in a distribution range and it can definitely go back higher. I would say once we get a move below 230, this is way too much for the drop, but we need a move below 230 to get a confirmation for a short here. But it can go back to 240, potentially as low as this. No, this is wrong. Support is here. What the fuck am I clicking? So this area would be my target if we break down, or target one here. Let's say we break down directly next week. This is target one, potential bounce. Target two, a very high probability bounce. But like I said, it can play out like this. I would feel very confident about a short in this 245 to 50 area if we get a move up next week. Uh, Similar to how that Tesla and Apple stock split in 2020 happened, and then we got another 2 days up on the market. So if something like that happens, the Tesla stock split, the Nvidia stock split is on Monday. Let's say we get a continuation until the 12th. This is the FOMC and CPI print. So up, 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 fake out, reversal, down, start of downtrend here, let's say. This would be the move up kind of thing. Then we have Nextra, the utilities team. It's sitting on the 200 MA on the weekly, but doesn't really inspire a lot of strength. Like we had a kind of an impulsive week down, and there's a lot of room to drop from here if the 200 MA doesn't hold. My guess is that we have entered distribution on this one as well in this range. So I don't think it will uh, it will stop. Eventually it will, let's say, bounce here, potential bounce here. This would be my target. In the horizontal breakout, we had this area here, and this was the horizontal breakout. It was back tested a couple of times. I think it's a buy in this 62-65 area. Potential buy for a short-term move up here, but it shouldn't stop very soon. This is a big support as well. Then another name is MU. Kind of the third rejection of this area here on the weekly. Tried to get to it, got rejected, got to it, rejected, got to it, rejected, got to it, rejected. So we are on the fourth consecutive week of getting rejection when trying to go above 130-ish. We actually closed above 130, but it still counts as a rejection area. On the daily, it's bearish divergence, a bit higher, and we have this here. We have this here. Again, not inspiring a lot of confidence in me. There is a thing I saw on Twitter this week, which was a very high correlation between ETH and MU, and you can see it like pretty crazy. It actually looks like ETH is leading. Yeah, let me try something with the time offset. USDT, and we offset 10. Let's do 12, 15. It's okay. This is fine. I guess, I don't know. I think 10 was better. Sort of like this. So ETH, MU moved before ETH. Then ETH caught up. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but the idea is here that another one of the semi names that looks kind of tired and it's having a hard time closing and making new highs. So given this, it's not looking that strong. And if we get a uptrend break, like we get a close below this, then the possibility that we have topped out becomes very real, even if we don't immediately realize this. Like losing the uptrend we confirm the distribution that is happening here, and eventually, once we close below this level, that is what is 125-ish, it should have a larger move down, probably down to 100. Okay, RTX. So this was an uptrend, the upper trend line. Let me make it thicker. It respected it multiple times, even though it faked out a bit. We are nearing it again. We are above this trend line that we lost initially and got the flush down. The combination of these two resistances, I think, will make us top out. Volume has been pretty shit. This is a very toppy pattern with decreasing volume after a full vertical rally. This seems a high probability reversal here and a pretty big pullback. Let's see where are the moving averages. The minimum we should see for this one is just retest of this high area, like 100-ish. But once we get going, I would expect more. This would be 90 would be my target. This looks like the demand. Okay. The bullish name in semis is sort of Intel. Um, how I explain the toppy names, like for example MU failing to capture this level, getting rejected multiple times. The same thing can be said about the 30 level for Intel. It's been trying to go below it for a while, and every time it does so, it gets saved. We had a close on the weekly. What was this? This was 29.85, but then we saved it, tried to go down again, tried to go down again, tried to go down again, and it's failing to go below it. Uh, Eventually, this will have a more substantial move up, and I think we're very close to that moment because we are getting to the apex of this pennant here. So expect a move for Intel. Again, in theory, it should be bullish because we're getting down rejections and we should fill the gap here at 45. But if it breaks down, then we have 25 as the target. I check the positioning as well, and this is the level here. And there's potentially room to go as low as 25 if we start another leg down. Bias is bullish on this one. Then two more bullish ones, mostly because of the weekly. This is Honeywell, and it's trying to do a horizontal breakout. Might not do it, but it's definitely trying to do something like this. Uh, Keep an eye out for a close above 210, let's say. If we get a close above 210, I think it's fine uh, to attempt a long here for a potential retest of 230, but it can be much higher than this. This has a pretty nice accumulation. Maybe we can do like a cup here up to 230, then I'll do it like this. Then on the pullback to 220-ish, 215, and then the breakout comes later. But keep an eye on this for a potential long if we get a close above 210. And the other one is ADP, which a sort of similar setup. This one is closer to the apex of the build-up, but can still do like a bit of sideways. And it actually looks better than Honeywell because closer to apex and closer to the breakout move, in my opinion. This one would be 250, let's say above 255 is we can ride it all the way to 274, and then just let it run as it develops. Okay, that's it for this week. Have a good one. Bye bye.